Hi, everybody. Welcome back to video training series number 2. And we're going to dive right into this. Right? Right now, your business vision was the last piece that we left off on, right? And you had a lot you had to get done in order for this workbook and that video training series 1 in order to get things done, okay? Start building your base. Well, let's move on to number 2. All right, now we're going to start talking about the actual strategies in each one of the areas and whether or not we can implement that in order to your business to make it work. Okay. So financial strategy is the first one we're going to work with. And there's a reason for it. Most of the time, this is where a lot of businesses can make a drastic impact the fastest. Just simply because there's usually a bunch of money that's being spent monthly that doesn't need to be spent or shouldn't be spent. So your ability to recapture that will give you more to your bottom line right away, as well as understanding what you're charging, what you should be charging, how you're charging it, and your break-even analysis, all these other different pieces of this usually will give a big boost financially as well too. So let's take a look at the first one. All right? A financial strategy that I would advise on is, do you know on average how much you make on each sale and record it? So this is kind of simple. Either yes or no. In which quarter, if it's a no, which quarter are you going to work on this? First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. That's how this chart works. Okay. Now, there's a reason this one is so important, number 1. And it's simple. If you don't know what you're making on each sale and recording it, how in the hell did you price your product or your service to begin with? So, right, good question. So let's look at number 2. I know how many sales or customers I need to make per day, week, or month in order to break even. Again, you kind of need to know what you make on each sale in order to determine how many customers or sales you need per day, per week, per month in order to break even. This one's real important when you start doing your long-term budgeting and forecasting for your sales, for your budget. Speaking of, I have a cash flow forecast for the business, 12 weeks minimum. Well, you can't have the forecast if you don't know what your break-even is. Number 4 is I generate monthly profit and losses for the business. Now, it's a safe bet. Most of you either do this yourselves or you have somebody do it for you to take a look at. That's at least a step ahead of where others are, but it's not great. You need to understand the profit and loss in order to make it worth your while. Okay. Number 5 is I budget for the profit and have set daily, weekly, monthly profit goals. A lot of you probably don't have this. And honestly, this is definitely going to be, if you're selling a physical product, this is definitely going to be one you want to pay attention to. As a physical product, you hope and you bank on a certain amount of being sold every single day. And that's going to start giving you what those profit goals are. Number 6 is I have minimum of 5 strategies in place to increase my gross profit. Now, gross profit, excuse me, just had to drink some water there. Gross profit, please remember, is what your profit is before taxes. After taxes is your net profit. Okay, that's after everything comes out. Everything, that's your net profit. And the 5 strategies in place to increase your gross profit, you probably don't have 5. You probably got like 1 or 2. But on the sales side of this, some of the strategies we're going to talk about we'll dive more into that. Number 7 is, do you set time aside each month to review your business performance? Yes or no? And when are you going to address this? And last, for the financial strategies, I have an annual marketing plan that is budget driven. Well, likelihood is probably not. But again, these are all strategies that you're going to eventually want to employ in your business to have a financially sound business. I know it's a lot, but bear with me. Keep up with this, okay? Because we're going to go into time management, all right? Number 1, have you audited your time for a week and understood where on the calendar you're choosing to spend your efforts? I guarantee you, you will not like the results of this. When I first did this, I quite literally, every 30 minutes, I mean, most people can even do like even 15 minutes, every 10 minutes of where your time is spent. But I did every 30. And I'll tell you what, from the time that I woke up to the time that I went to bed is when I did this audit, and I did it for a week. And when I realized how much time I really was wasting on just stupid stuff like social media or playing or just zoning out, whatever it was, I mean, I increased my work capacity by 12 hours. And mind you, not working more than 40 hours, but just increased it by 12 hours the first time I did this. Right? And once you do this, having a default calendar is basically setting up your calendar to the point where you are scheduling your week in advance. Now, that doesn't mean that if something important comes up, you can't do it because you've already scheduled something. No. That just means that unless something detrimental to the business or super important comes up, whatever you scheduled for that time, you need to do. So if you gave yourself an hour every single day to generate new prospects and new leads, then quite literally, you have that 1 hour to do it. Because as soon as that hour is up, you're moving on to your next task. You need to be that diligent with it. Next is that the business has the default calendar that the team can refer to. If you don't have a team, doesn't matter. If you do have a team, you have one built out. That way, as efficient as you can be, your team needs to as well. I have a regular time in which I plan the following week and prioritize my key activities. For me, quite literally, I will take the last hour of my work week Friday and plan out the next week, at least the first 3 to 4 days of the week. I really take the weekends to enjoy a little downtime, to enjoy my family, to remember why I do what I do. So I don't recommend doing it on the weekends. If you have to catch up on the weekend, then so be it. But I'm telling you, if you can audit your time and get a little bit more efficient with your time and how you manage it, you shouldn't have to always work on the weekends. Once in a while, I get it and understand it, but not often. So take that last hour on Friday, build out your next week. Here's a fun one. Do you work on your business, not in your business, but do you work on your business for a minimum of 4 hours a week? I regularly review my low value, low enjoyment tasks and consistently strive to delegate or outsource them. Why is this so important? Well, simply put, when you don't like doing something, do you put it off 90% of the time? Do you actively avoid doing it? When you do whatever the task is, do you kind of half-ass it? Almost all of us do. So for those tasks that are low value, low enjoyment, if you can delegate those or outsource them, I absolutely encourage you to do that. And last, I have time slots in my calendar for my own health and enjoyment. Understanding that life balance is important to the productivity of my business. Now, here's the little debate about the work-life balance, okay? I hate that freaking quote. And here's why, all right? When you're passionate about something, when you enjoy something, you love something, clocking in, clocking out doesn't work. Mentally, emotionally, it doesn't work. So here's what I propose instead, okay? I propose that if you have a family or you've got other things in your life that you enjoy doing, then just make time for it. It doesn't mean you need to work 80 hours a week. Just make time for it. Enjoy life, okay? It doesn't mean you're 40 hours and you're done, and then you got 20 hours of leisure time, and there you go. Enjoy it. Be passionate about who you are and what you do. Next is the service delivery, okay? For the service delivery, you really want to take a look at this one from an operational standpoint, okay? The first one says, the business has defined customer service levels that all team members are aware of and are monitored against. All right? One of the top things that I deploy from a simplistic operation for the business of any of my customers is a new state-of-the-art customer service program. Okay, it's no coincidence that this is number one on that list. Number two is that there are documented procedures in place to ensure every customer experience is the same. Probably, like there's probably not. So start thinking about that, okay? Your customer service from a service delivery standpoint, right? You gotta have happy customers. You gotta be taking care of them the way you know they should be taken care of. Number three is we regularly survey our customers to determine how we can better serve them. When's the last time, if ever, that you surveyed your customers? You probably haven't because you're afraid of what the results you're going to get back. And if that's the case, then you definitely need to survey them. You need to man up or woman up, understand that this is business, it's not personal, and figure out a better way to serve your customers, or you're going to lose them. Those are your two options. Survey your customers and find out what their thoughts are. Okay? Number four is, do you have a script or process in place for greeting customers? Yeah. Number five, we consistently brainstorm as a team ways to exceed our customers' expectations. One of the ways I love doing this is doing some staff meetings and having your team teach you something that could be important or beneficial to the business and the customer. Tell you what, you do that, you will learn some incredible things that you never anticipated from your team. And number six, the business analysis makes, and we take active steps to ensure that error cannot occur again by upgrading our systems. So analyze the mistakes in your business and upgrade it so it doesn't happen again. All right? That's just being diligent on your business. That's what that is. Okay. Sales and marketing. I love this one. This is one of the core pillars of McAvoy Enterprises. It is the sales management in today's society. So have you identified your target market and marketed specifically to them? Do you actively work with 3 non-competing strategic alliances who target the same market as you do? Have you a systematized referral strategy in place? Each month, do you use a minimum of 10 different ways to generate leads in business? Does the team use sales scripts and processes that are documented? Does the sales team undertake regular sales skills training? When's the last time that you trained your team, or that your team took any training? Does the sales team does regular training on our products or services? The sales team is responsible for providing regular sales projections and is held accountable, okay, held accountable to deliver those. Does the business have a database of clients and prospects that we contact them at least once every 90 days with offers? Now, the 90 days is in a worst case scenario if they are not very engaging with you, maybe 90 days. But if it's a new database, it's new clients, man, you need to work that sales funnel. You need to give them value. You need to build a perception in their mind, and you need to be able to nurture that relationship. Have your clients been graded in A, B, C, or D? This one's fun because A's, oh, you love and want them. B's, they're good, they're great, let's take them. C's, they're a pain in the butt, they're making up time. D's, make your life miserable. You fire the D's and you pick up some more B's and A's. Oh, I love grading the clients. There's some weird personal satisfaction about telling your client or getting ready to think about your client and going, you know what? Yeah, you are a D, you're getting fired. Are the written strategies and procedures in place to move customers up the ladder of loyalty? I call it ladder of loyalty, but it's your sales funnel. The sales team have scripts and have been trained to upsell or cross-sell your products or services. Does the team know the target average sale, and are they accountable for delivering this? Right? They're all incredibly good strategies that you should have in place. Systems, right? Does the business use robust schedules for repetitive tasks? The business has documented and charted all workflow processes. Answer to this one is usually no, right? Not many companies have super detailed flow charts with how the business should work. Are all key tasks and routines documented in a procedure manual? Do you have a process to track and control all updated documentation? Is your procedure manual updated regularly, at least once every 90 days? And is there a documented process to ensure that happens? Now, again, this is something you really want to pay attention to and start seeing it if you're doing this. Communication is key, and this will be a big part of it. Last is your staff, your team, okay? Do your team members understand what their roles and limitations are? If you haven't built a very black and white, solid roles and expectations for each team member, sat down and discussed it with them, and then signed off on it, you have failed your team members. Does each role have been systematized and documented? Does each team member understand how their achievements will be measured through their key performance indicators? Do you have a system for ensuring continuity and succession within the team? And I have planned to carry out staff reviews every 6 months. If you haven't done these, for all of these, granted, there's a lot of strategies that we just covered, right? I want you to understand that I don't want you to feel overwhelmed by this. And most people are going to have a crap ton of no's in this column. Don't feel bad. Please don't feel bad. When everyone first starts this, almost everybody has no's in these categories. And this isn't to defeat you, but this is to give you an immense amount of strategies and things that should be happening in your business in order for you to be successful. Every one of these is a strategy. Every one of these is an action step that we can take and create as a goal for your business. So this is the end of video 2, because this is a lot to process. I want you to go through here and yet make sure you yes and no out of every one of these strategies. Looking at these, determine which quarter you want to start working on these with. The level of importance to you. So until next video, thank you so much. Good luck with going through these strategies, and I'll see you in the last training. Thank you so much.